education system, that is the transfer of culture from generation to generation, is an essential element in the development of human society. Global key trends and obstacles in the progress of higher education are connected by two facts. The personality of a contemporary student has changed, and educational technologies have been altered as well. Due to knowledge transfer, nowadays there is an increasing number of technologies in higher education, and teachers can be trained in these new presenting methods. The study of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics or STEM requires mandatory support from theoretical courses with unique practices at training programs. Education is transferred to the service sector, and a person is considered uneducated without a state approved document. And in the context of globalization, this trend is becoming global. Personal changes are manifested in modern users of education. They differ from their predecessors in pragmatism, a sense of independence, lack of concentration and attention, and inability to listen, clip thinking, and the need for self expression. Geoscience has been identified as one of the three more important emerging and evolving industries alongside nanotechnology and biotechnology. Spatial thinking is an essential skill for the future workforce with the ever increasing availability of data from satellites, aeroplanes, and drones. Fieldworks can draw students' attention in STEM education or any other related subjects which do not operate as separate entities in the real world. They are interconnected, intertwined, and important to think creatively to solve problems. A questionnaire was created and distributed in 4 schools in West Bengal. The key assumption is that field practices in schools are qualitatively different from the phenomenon described in recent years, where digital or remote field practices have already emerged. The results obtained through the survey show the tendency of students' perception to fulfill the practical duties in a laboratory with instruments of field training in STEM education. This is linked with the solution of using psychological and pedagogical tasks like teamwork, training, leadership, development, etc., as well as utilizing soft skills. Industry 4.0 proclaims automatization that promotes the organization's intelligence in the decision making system, and the managerial role of persons is also included. One of the most required abilities is to do patient and accurate fulfillment of similar tasks, which vary by visualization type as well. The personal contemporary portrait of individual student is changing, as evident in the separation of human me from the nature, the appearance of a landscape in mapping, the birth of nation states, the appearance of abstract thought in mathematics and formal laws, etc. Such external conditions correspond to their own set of teaching aids for knowledge transfer, like textbooks, learning orally, or knowledge transfer using language concepts when using lectures. The digital model of education does not scale to the study of scientific subjects related to the study of the history, evolution, and structure of the earth. A different set of teaching aids is necessary, like clips, teaching through visual images, knowledge transfer using new language concepts, replacing lectures with forms of independent work, followed by giving the student the opportunity for public expression to gain approval from members of the social groups. The possibilities of perception, attention, memory, and thinking reach their maximum at the student age. Many students cannot master a specialty by only using visual images. The disciplines related to the study of the earth's surface presupposes the mandatory follow-up of the theoretical courses by training at the test sites, which helps to neutralize the negative factors of indoor schooling. Knowledge could be improved during training when students solve a specific task in the field. The interaction among 80 students, 4 teachers, and 200 local people at Majberia Hooghly, West Bengal, helped to resolve those problems that may not be solvable in the classroom or with online training. The formation of practical work skills goes along with the solution of psychological and pedagogical issues, the study of teamwork, and the creation of leadership qualities. Higher geographical and environmental education means the preparation of bachelor's and master's in the fields of geography, hydrometeorology, cartography, geoinformatics, ecology, geodesy, geoecology, geotechnical engineering, and disaster management. The work consists of an experimental study of the representations of students, especially related to the art science, practical skills in STEM education. The considerable flow of information and the need for its processing complicates the process of growing up, and young people remain infantile for much longer. It is difficult to talk about a deliberate choice of a profession or about an uncompromising attitude to study. Learning in English opens possibilities to study internationally. Higher STEM education programs at Indian universities tend to be taught in English. In terms of quantitative training indicators for student geographers and ecologists, India lacks many countries. STEM education is in high demand in the mining and geophysics industry. In fact, the common with field training, the studying year passes with no summer holidays, and STEM education in art sciences is rather rare. There is a potentially high risk for safety violations because of weather conditions. Virtual reality classes could be limited by technology and have struggled to expand due to a lack of computing power and memory. Navigation skills and STEM learning, especially related to the field of geography and geoscience, are essential as they help to pursue professional development. The ability to integrate and connect different routes to create map of the environment, to relate them to each other, and to investigate them is a specialty of field training. Research examining the effectiveness of geographical information system or GIS training is also important. A geophysics class may also incorporate field-based activities using a particular instrument like gravimeter, drone, radar, etc. to measure variations in field practices and then discuss potential limitations in the measurements that aid interpretation of the data, which each type of activity is developing the capacity to make logical conclusion that flow from the available data is key focus of the learning experience. The basic principle of practical training is a combination of practical exercises with simulation methods in the development of practical skills and fluency with new equipment. Field training in STEM education is much more effective because it connects both soft and hard types of skills. The collective work using professional devices, surveying instruments like dumpable prismatic compass or theodolite with a rotating telescope for measuring horizontal and vertical angles is usually made by at least two persons together. The evidence that has emerged from the studies has proved that the field approach is effective in helping students to attain the required knowledge for the understanding of the natural context and to illustrate phenomena and confirm their skills. Soft skills and other competencies such as scientific reasoning and inquiry capacities are developed as well. Training offers the opportunity to work as part of a team. Students also learn safety rules, which are more crucial than in general conditions in the classroom. In most schools and colleges in West Bengal, field practices are study tours lasting for 1 to 2 days, the purpose of which is to teach students to work on a specific topic or its problem in small groups. In academic year, there are only 2 to 3 trips. The educational environment in India reflects the global world trends in learning processes. With the introduction of digital learning technologies, knowledge transfer has changed. Massive open online courses and open learning platforms are designed to show that distance learning can be scaled to all educational specialties. The teaching technologies in the form of passive contemplation by students of the visual range and solution of test problems cannot be scalable to study the disciplines necessary to obtain professional competencies and knowledge in STEM education in art sciences. STEM education specifically requires the mandatory support of theoretical courses with individual practices at the test sites. There is a decrease in the educational time units designed for training practices in STEM and earth sciences. There is a tendency to replace off-site activities with online and virtual reality technologies. To show the limited scalability of modern educational technologies to disciplines related to the study of the earth sciences, the formation of practical work skills, which goes hand in hand with the solution of psychological and pedagogical tasks, teamwork training, leadership formation, patient and thorough implementation of the same task are important. Based on the results of an empirical study conducted in Indian universities, including a survey by some students and some respondents who recently graduated from the university, it was considered the peculiarities of students' perception of information in STEM and their expectations from the learning process. The field practices in Indian educational institution are qualitatively different from the phenomenon described in European literature, where digital or distance field practices for people with disabilities are already appearing. A special online survey is developed with the idea to highlight to the point of view of a modern student on educational technology. The level of preparedness of students to work with electronic resources is very heterogeneous. The development of resources and internet technologies play important role. At the same time, there has been a rapid growth in information and communication technologies like video conferencing, webinars, groups on social networks, and many others, which make it possible to organize not only the passive perception of online courses but also the active remote interaction of students, a collective discussion of the material, and joint execution of tasks, all while at significant physical distances from each other. Therefore, the teacher is now faced with the need to possess not only subject knowledge and modern technical means, but also management techniques of computer mediated educational communication. Mastering the educational form of information education is an urgent task of our time. The students' lack of understanding of the concepts of a map section, a cross section of a complex technical object, spatial ability into constituent spatial skills, and anomaly of an optical image of a star in a telescope observed by students moves us towards a change in the methods and technologies of teaching technical disciplines for students of geography, from visual static illustrations to dynamic pictures as of films. To handle the material, it is necessary that when reading a lecture, an interactive way of conducting classes is used. Such tools can provide access to the internet and gadgets. If in the case of training, the student is gaining courses following the curricula, then such an instrument does not exist for the employee of the company. Teacher, researcher, engineering, and technical person sometimes must forcibly acquire the knowledge at any other possible sites. Questionnaires were administered to 400 respondents, including students from school programs with ages ranging from 16 to 20, average age 18 years. The advantage of resorting to diverse techniques and instruments to collect data was the possibility to triangulate quantitative and qualitative methods, thus enhancing the validity of the results. Reports were written after the class to verify the relevant positive and negative aspects of the intervention, the difficulties of the students' engagement in the process, and an overall evaluation of the model that was implemented. A new wave of innovative geospatial scientists in the future workforce can be encouraged by experiencing geospatial technology in interactive field service. Thank you.